the starting of the week. At Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Monique's Master Welding course. I've been getting a lot of DMs and inquiries on how do I use a 7018 rod? How do I lay the bead? How do I set up the machine? Well, that's what I'm here for, okay? So today we're gonna be demonstrating how to use a 7018 rod. So before we start looking at ourselves and looking at our machine, we have to know why we're using this rod, right? This is a 7018 rod. If we go and look at the numbers, the 70 indicates the tensile strength, right? In the thousands. So this means it's a 70,000 tensile strength rod. The 1 means the position, so it's an all position rod, and the 8 stands for low hydrogen. So as you can see, when we go and grab the rod, I will be grabbing it out of an oven. And this is because we need to keep it low hydrogen. We don't want to have this rod absorb all the moisture in the atmosphere. So that means we are only having a 15 to 20 minute window when we use this rod, as soon as we take it out of the oven. All right, so a lot of people favor the 7018 rod because it is used for industrial structures, for cover welds, because it lays such a nice clean bead with minimal spatter. So that is our little knowledge breakdown of the 7018 rod. Now that we have our history, we can't touch nothing if we can't look at ourselves and make sure that we're safe. All right, so I will be demonstrating proper PPE in this video. We will start with the feet. We should always have our leather closed-toed shoes, right? Then moving to our jeans, we must have 100% cotton jeans, no strays, and no rips, okay? Then we move to our shirt, 100% cotton and long sleeve, okay? Because when we start welding, we're gonna get spatter all up in here and we need to be safe, okay? Then we need to move to our leather gloves, so when we handle our metal and our rod, we don't get burned up, okay? Then moving to our face, we must make sure that we have our welding hood. This is the welding hood that I will be using today. It is a titanium. You can go to Hobby Lobby and find any, or Harbor Freight. Sorry. And make sure it is shade 10 when we are using it. Then we must always, 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 no matter what, be having our safety glasses on at all times when we are in the shop. I do not want to see anybody without any safety glasses. And for my girlies, I need our hair to be all up in there, okay? I don't want no hair catching on fire while we are demonstrating our welds. Now that we are ready and we've got the proper PPE ready to go, now we will start our welding process. Alrighty, our PPE is ready, you are ready. Now let's put this rod into practice. So first order of business, let's look at our machine. We can't do anything if our machine is not ready to go, okay? So this is the stick machine that I will be using. It also has a TIG option, and that is why this gas cylinder is attached. But today we will not be demonstrating TIG, so we are not going to acknowledge this tank. So first order of business, make sure that your machine is plugged in, ready to go. Your breaker is turned on, and then we will go and turn on our machine. We hear it start up. With our 7018 rods, if you are ever unsure of what settings to use, always make sure to refer back to your chart. So here we have our electrode identification and operation data. I will locate the rod first. So we are using a 7018. We have the option of using a DC or AC option. I will choose the DC positive option, and then we will move to what metal size we are using. I will be personally using today an 1/8 inch metal size. So we have the option of running 90 to 150 amps. I will personally be choosing a happy medium of 120 amps. Now we move back to our machine. I have it already preset to 120 and DC positive. We have 2 connections on this machine. We have our ground clamp and our stinger. The rule with our ground clamp is that it must be clamped to a piece of metal near your weld. I have it lodged and clamped right there. I will not be putting my electrode on the stinger just yet, as when we put it on, then we activate a weld if it touches metal. So I will leave that for last. Now we must look at our extra tools that we will also be using within this welding process. So here we have our cleaned and prepped piece of 1/8" metal. Always make sure that we have prepped and grinded our metal, no matter what rod we are using. I know that a 60-10 rod can go for any type of piece of metal or condition of it, like rust, but it is always good practice when you're in a shop to prep your metal. We will also be using our chipping hammer. This will help us chip away any slag that comes off of the weld. Our wire brush, that will also help us clean the excess porosity and slag. And our pliers. This will help us pick up the metal to go put it and quench it in the water. I will move my metal in the middle where I want it. I will also put on my welding hood. Ready to go. And before we start welding or putting our electrode to our stinger, we must make sure that we have proper ventilation. So I will be putting on my ventilation that is provided here at our school or in our shop. So that way I am not inhaling any fumes. So now I will put my electrode to the stinger, open the clamps. I am putting it at a slight angle so that when I go in my welding position, it is at a downward angle so that I am not completely upright. I am more comfortable. So I will have my left hand cupping my right hand for stability. When I bring my electrode down, I will be at a 10 to 15 degree angle and run my bead through. Our number one advice when we are welding is to make sure that we have a steady pace. If we do not have a steady pace and we are going too fast, which is a major problem within beginners, our bead will definitely show and we will not penetrate to our full potential. Now I will demonstrate a bead. Putting our electrode in the stinger. I will now turn on my welding machine. Make sure again we are at the correct settings. It looks like it got turned up, so I'm going to make sure to turn it back down to 120. We're at DC positive, and now we are ready. So I'm going to make sure I am sitting down, elbow on the table, left hand cupping, put my welding hood down, and scratch to start an arc. So this is a very good example of what a clean bead should look like. So when we can see the porosity come up, the slag come up, that means that we laid a good bead. This is what we are aiming for. And when I was finishing my weld, I made sure to stay towards the end so that I can fill it up as a weld. As you can see, I probably should have stayed a little bit longer, but a good weld was formed. Our electrode is off and our stinger is down. Now, let us grab our chipping hammer and chip away our slag. Wow, look at that. As we can see, this is what indicates a good, clean weld. We want our slag to come off in a fairly uniform piece together. This is what gives us a good indication of a strong weld. I will now chip away the excess slag. It should come off in pretty big pieces. I will now grab my wire brush, wire away the excess to the best of my ability. Got to put some elbow grease if we really want to see a clean weld. I will grab my pliers, bring it to the water, and clench. You have now successfully laid your bead. Now, let's indicate where we might have went wrong in our bead. So if we come in, we can see, starting from the top, that I may have stayed a little too long here in the front, as we have a bigger bead formed here. As we keep going down, I can see a few inconsistencies more towards this end that I may have gone a little too fast, and now I do not have uniform or stacked dimes. And if we go towards the end, we can see that I have a crater formed. That means I did not stay long enough towards the end to fill it up. As a welder, we are never going to be perfect, but that's okay. As long as we are in a constant state of check and growth, we can become that master welder. Thank you again for tuning into this video. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Leave a comment and like below, and I'll see you on the next one.